की जय. All right. So today we'll start lesson 6, Bhakti Shastri, Unit 1, Bhagavad Gita, and we'll complete chapter 3. Portion of chapter 3 was already covered in the last session, and we'll try to see what we covered in our last session. So, review of lesson 5 before we move ahead. So, lesson 5, what did we do? A quick recap. Presented an overview of Krishna's responses to Arjuna's question as to the symptoms of the self realized soul. So, Arjuna asked some question to Krishna in respect of self realized soul. Sthit Pragya. What were the questions that were asked? What questions were asked?
How does he walk? How does he speak? How does he sit?
Yeah. How does it sit? How does he work? How does he speak? And Krishna answered all of them. Two general principles from our own experience of Para Dhanavo getting a higher taste of Krishna consciousness. So 2.69, this shloka refers to wherein 2.59, not 69, wherein we saw how if we get higher taste, we forget everything else and we try to fix ourselves in Krishna consciousness. Because the basic question that is asked is why Krishna consciousness and how will we be able to sustain it? So Krishna says that when you get a higher taste, then you are able to fix yourself. And we took some examples to understand the point. Then identified reasons why and discussed the relevance of Karma Yoga being superior to Karma Sannyas. We also discussed why acting in Krishna consciousness is more important rather than renouncing everything. In fact, later on we will see that we are not in a position even to renounce because we have nothing. What will we renounce? We will renounce what you have. Everything we have is Krishna, so we can really not renounce anything. So best is Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means acting in Krishna consciousness. Everything dedicated to Krishna. Now, Varnashram Dharma. So we saw 2.31, we had a bit of discussion on that also. On the bodily plane, so dharma is called Varnashram Dharma or man's stepping stone for spiritual understanding. Human civilization begins from the stage of Varnashram. So we explained, Prabhupada explained in 2.31 very nicely how, what is Swadharma? While discussing Swadharma, Prabhupada explained that while you're still on the material plane, which every one of us are on, it's called Varnashram Dharma. So we have to do our prescribed duties. But Prabhupada today, we'll see some purports where he'll explain that Varnashram Dharma may not be possible in Kali Yuga. So what to do? Because we are still not on the spiritual plane, we are still on the material platform, we cannot do Varnashram Dharma. So what should we do? Then Prabhupada will explain that Krishna consciousness is an answer to everything. And if we are in Krishna consciousness, we actually need not follow even Varnashram Dharma. But we'll first understand the philosophy, we'll first understand the principle that why is it important for each and every individual to do what is prescribed for him to be done. It's better to do things faultily, Prabhupada says faultily, rather than doing others' work perfectly. But Prabhupada says one who is in complete Krishna consciousness can do what is ordered to him by his Guru. So the question can be asked, what is asked of me? What is my prescribed duty? Because there's no Varnashram really. We are all Shudras. The Prabhupada says in the purport, what your Guru asks you to do is your prescribed dharma, and that you do. And he gives example also that how Vishwamitra, though being a Kshatriya, acted as a Brahmana, and Parashuram, though being a Brahmana, acted as a Kshatriya. Okay, so we'll discuss that concept. So, results of following Varnashram Dharma. 2.4 Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a very good shloka Prabhupada is quoting here. Anybody wants to read the shloka? 1.5.17. You can open it offline. 1.5.17. Anybody? You want me to put it on screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Or do you want?
1.5.17, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, complete shloka or the portion?
Complete. Read the complete shloka.
Okay, Prabhuji. त्यक्त्वा स्वधर्मं चरणं भुजं हरेर् भजन् अपक्वो तथा पतितदो यदि यत्राक्वभद्रम् अभुत् अमुष्य किं को वार्थ अप्तो भजतां स्वधर्मतः.
Translation.
Yes, Prabhuji. If someone takes to Krishna consciousness, he may not follow the prescribed duties in the Shastras or execute the devotional service properly, and even though he may fall down from the standard, there is no loss or evil for him. But if he carries out all the injunctions for purification in Shastras, what does it avail him if he is not Krishna conscious?
Yeah. A non-devotee fully engaged in his occupational duties does not gain anything. See, all of you must be working somewhere, isn't it? Most of you, let's say. And before coming to Krishna consciousness, we took pride in being very busy. The more busy we are or we were, the better self-esteem we had. Isn't it true? Yes or no, everyone?
Yes,
Didn't we
Prabhu.
take pride? Didn't we take pride in being busy?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, no? मैं बहुत busy हूँ. I'm very busy. Actually, when you are busy, when you returning home very late, going to office right on time, self-esteem was increasing. I was like, yes, my day has come. My day has come. But Prabhupada is saying a non-devotee, before coming to Krishna consciousness, non-devotee, fully engaged in occupational duty, fully engaged. Morning 7 o'clock, leaving home, night 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, coming, not able to attend any family function, not able to even take your parents to doctors, neighbors are taking your parents to doctors. But the company के लिए इतना काम करता हूँ, I got double promotion. Prabhupada is saying what? Does not gain anything. Full stop. Full stop. Does not gain anything. What do you gain? A very beautiful purport is going to come in today's class. The Prabhupada will explain you may even win the world, but what if you lose your soul? What did you gain? You gain nothing. Nothing. That does not mean we are propagating laziness. Krishna consciousness is not laziness. Sometimes what happens, because Prabhupada says that karmis, they work like donkeys. People tend to think that Krishna consciousness means Ram's laziness. Not laziness. In fact, if you go to a temple and try to stay in the temple for some time, you'll see devotees are working much harder than karmis. Why? At least for karmis, Saturdays or Sundays, at least Sundays are off. And then you can just lying on your bed, not wanting to get up. आज मेरी छुट्टी है, correct? But for devotees, Sundays are busier than weekdays. Special program. You cannot say to the Lord, भगवान आज छुट्टी है, आज आपको भोग नहीं लगाऊंगा. You can't say that. So devotees are more busy. You will see, you go to the temple, and by they calculate, okay, night we got 4 hours of sleep. Okay, afternoon feeling tired, let's sleep 1 hour. Okay, total 5 hours finished, total 6 hours finished. They are not sitting idle. So Krishna consciousness is not laziness. We should not understand that Krishna consciousness is laziness because Prabhupada is advocated that karmis are working like donkeys. They're donkeys because they're working for peanuts. See, at the end of the day, the dhobi gives the donkey what, some grass, and says, "Oh, my master, I shall forever serve you." For us, it's the same, the kind of efforts we put in our material life. We think, oh, our salary, oh, too much, now have everything. But actually, if you put the same efforts for Krishna, then this shloka says what? On the next shloka, we'll see Bhagavad Gita 2.40, very beautiful shloka. Let's go to that shloka. Yeah, anybody wants to read? Very nice shloka, 2.40. And we'll discuss some the purport of this.
Can I, Prabhuji?
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, who is it?
Naveen Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
नेहा विक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यावयो यन विद्यते स्व अल्पमपि अस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. Translation by Student A.C. Pathyanda Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear.
Yeah. Neha Vikraman Nashasti. No loss or diminution. No loss. See, most of you are qualified, holding some degree, correct? Did you get that degree by just clearing few papers, or you have to clear all your papers to get the degree? Anybody who got the degree without clearing all the papers? Hmm? You have to clear all the papers, isn't it? Similarly, for any material advancement, what you have to do? You have to clear all your papers. So, or if you don't, then you lose the entire thing. So let's say, for example, somebody is a chartered accountant, somebody is a doctor, somebody is a lawyer. You have to clear each and every paper. And even if you don't clear one, you're not called a chartered accountant, or you're not called a doctor, you're not called a lawyer. Correct? Mataji, Punya Mataji, you have to clear all the papers, isn't it?
Yes,
Or
Prabhu.
like
Yes.
or you didn't clear one paper and they gave you chartered accountancy degree.
No. Even if I'm not clearing one paper, I have to give that exam again to clear that paper.
You have to give the group again, correct?
Yes, the entire group again. Yes,
Entire
yes.
group again, unless you get exemption. So which means
Yes.
what? Which means that the effort is lost. So there are, let's say, 4 papers in a group, and if she's not getting an exemption, she has to give all the 4 papers again just because she did not clear one paper. So efforts are lost. This is material world. But in spiritual world, in Krishna consciousness, Krishna is saying, Neha Vikramanashasti, which means in this endeavor there is no loss or diminution. How to understand that? So Prabhupada is explaining in the purport, first paragraph, towards the middle of the paragraph, you see, 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results. Yes. Oh, this is different. This is not material. No, this is not material. In material world, efforts have to reach from 0 to 100, else your efforts are waste. And even if you reach 100 and you die, will the next birth you be born as a chartered accountant again? You have to again start from 0. But here Krishna is saying, 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent result, so that the next beginning is from that point of 2%. So let's assume we stopped all our karmi activities. We dedicated our lives to the movement of Prabhupada. We are serving Krishna, but somehow could not complete, which means what? Which means our condition is like धोबी का गधा ना, no, धोबी का कुत्ता, sorry, ना घर का ना घाट का. We are like that. छोड़ भी दिया, इतना पैसा कमा रहे थे, कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में भी आ गए, वहां भी कुछ नहीं कर पाए. करें तो करें क्या, फंस गए. उस टाइम तो बड़ा अच्छा लगा. Prabhupada, I read all Prabhupada books and I said, no, I'll serve Prabhupada's mission. But after joining Prabhupada's mission, all my steam got lost. And Abhi, I'm doing nothing. See, I cannot go back. Here, neither I'm progressing in my spiritual life. Don't worry. Don't worry, because Krishna is saying, Neha Vikramanashasti. Even if you're progressing 1%, next life at least you're assured of human's body, and you start from 2%. Wow. So, 100 births, you are going back. At least 100 births, you are going back. If in one life you are completing even just 1%. Isn't that a good deal? Very good deal. Very good deal. Billions of births would have taken, still not satisfied, still trying to satisfy our senses. Here, at least you see 1% each life I'll do. 100 life I'm gone. So that is why Krishna is saying in this endeavor, which means which endeavor we are talking about, serving Krishna, there is no loss. And it's not a dry philosophy. These are words of the Supreme Lord. Krishna is saying, no loss. There's no ifs, no buts, no loss. There is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement in this path can protect one from the most dangerous types of fear. So Prabhupada is giving an example. Ajamila performed his duty in some percentage of Krishna consciousness, but the result he enjoyed at the end was 100% by the Krishna. Ajamila, perfect example. Perfect example. Life full of sin. But last one saying Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. And Krishna was so merciful. Why? Krishna is always merciful. Krishna is saying, Bhokta Ram Yagna Tapsam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, the friend of everyone. And this verse, which Prabhupada is quoting in the purport, Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17, in fact, he has quoted this verse many times. Today only we'll see in one more shloka this verse coming. So let's read this verse. Anybody wants to read 1.5.17?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Mata.
त्यक्त्वा स्वधर्मं चरणाम्बुजं हरेर् भजन्नपक्वोऽथ पठे ततो यदि यत्र क्वा वा भद्रम् अभूदमुस्य किं को वार्ताप्तो भजतां स्वधर्मतः.
Very important verse. Yeah, Mataji. Again read, yeah.
If someone gives up his occupational duties and works in Krishna consciousness and then falls down on account of not completing his work, what loss is there on his part? And what can one gain if one performs his duty, performs his material activities perfectly?
Just mark this shloka. Because in our spiritual path, we will be in this situation more often than not. We will be in this situation more often than not because a devotee struggle is inside. See, a karmi struggle is outside. You can see struggling, working hard, bosses against him, families against him, fighting. A devotee struggle is inside. And what is the struggle? Given up the occupational duty, works in Krishna consciousness and falls down on account of not completing his work. Our situation. Our situation. So, what is saying? What loss is there on his part? अरे तो नुकसान क्या है? And what can one gain if one performs his material activities perfectly? The question rather is, don't worry if you have fallen down because there is no loss. The question to be answered is, what have you gained by making your life materially perfect? And Prabhupada is saying, Christians say, read the purport, what profit a man if he gain the whole world yet suffers the loss of his eternal soul? Very poor. Such a powerful statement. What profit a man means what profit a man has if he gains the whole world. Sikandar, no, Alexander, gain the whole world. At least we don't have that desire. Just hold on. At least we don't have the desire to gain the whole world, but this is saying that even if he gains the whole world, what is the profit if he suffers the loss of his eternal soul? Eternal soul you're losing. The purpose is not to gain the whole world, not to become materially perfect, but to make sure that even small steps are taken for the well-being of your soul. Material activities and their results end with the body. Even if you become materially perfect, it will end when you die. But work in Krishna consciousness carries a person again to Krishna consciousness even after the loss of the body. Now you can decide for yourself, so what is good for us? And never ever be disappointed when you see yourself that your progress is slowing down, that you've fallen down, that you're not as enthusiastic as you were. That does not mean that you accept the situation. You keep on fighting, you keep on progressing, but should not disappoint because Neha Bikramanashasti. Whatever progress I have done till date, will not be lost. Wow. At least one is sure to have a chance in the next life of being born as a human being. At least you are assured body of a human being, and through human being's body only you can achieve Goloka. Either in the family of a great cultured Brahmana or in a rich aristocratic family that will give one a further chance for elevation. That is a unique quality of the work done in Krishna. So two discussions we'll do here. So once somebody asked Prabhupada, you always say Krishna, 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 Krishna. And you bind yourself with so many principles and you act. What if Krishna is not there? Prabhupada became very grave. He said, if Krishna is not there, I have nothing to lose. Because I led a good life. I regulated myself through principles. I chant the name of Krishna, who you say is not there. But if Krishna is there, what will happen to you, you think? Because you are leading a sinful life. If Krishna is not there, I have nothing to lose because I have not done any sins. But you are leading a sinful life. What will happen to you if Krishna is there? So actually, the path of spirituality, there is nothing to lose. Even if somebody is not convinced that there is existence of Krishna, what is the harm? Because if you don't lead a good life, you will lead a sinful life. And if you find Krishna, you are gone. You are gone. That's what Prabhupada said. You think about yourself. See, for me, if Krishna is not there, I'm okay. But if for you, Krishna is there, what will happen to you? You think about yourself. The person was zapped. And the same question was asked by Arjuna. Anybody recalls? When did Arjuna ask this question to Krishna? That what will happen to a person who falls down? Anybody? Okay, let's open chapter 6, Shloka 37. 6.37. 6.37, Arjuna asking a question. What? Oh Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with faith, but who later desists due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism? Andar, deep inside we are thinking, are we also subject of this question? Is Arjuna asking this question for us? That in the beginning, we took the process with full enthusiasm, with full faith, but later on, due to worldly mindedness, Bhog Aishwarya Prasakta Naam, we could not attain perfection. So, what is Krishna answering? Krishna is answering in 6.41 and 42, the same thing. And he gives answers for two categories of people. 6.41, the unsuccessful yogi who after many years, means dirghakal, bahut saalon tak, of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities is born into the family of righteous people or into the family of rich aristocracy. So, who tried for many years and then he fell down, what will happen? First, he will enjoy for many years in the planet of pious living entities. So, let's say he'll go to Swarga, enjoy. Full enjoyment. Then what will happen? Then he will come into the family of righteous people or family of rich aristocracy. Now, our understanding of aristocracy means what? Oh, my dad has money. I can go to nightclubs. I can enjoy. I can drink. Holidays and everything. That's not the idea of Krishna by saying that you'll be born in the family of rich aristocracy. Not to get into bad habits. But what? But so Prabhupada is explaining, after prolonged life there, when he sent back into the planet to take birth in the family of righteous Brahmana, Vaishnava or aristocratic merchants, the real purpose of yoga practice is to achieve the highest perfection. But those who do not persevere to such an extent and fail because of, by the grace of Lord, to make full utilization of their material propensity. And after that, they are given opportunity to live prosperous lives. In aristocratic families, those who are born in such families may take advantage of the facilities and try to elevate themselves. So once you are born in aristocratic family, they don't have to worry about their daily bread. Oh God, give me my daily bread. You don't have to worry about that. You have everything. You have all the facilities. So what you should do? Raghunath Das Goswami, what did he do? You have to do the same. You have to use your facilities to advance in Krishna consciousness. See, the one who has to earn daily bread, he has to first earn his daily bread because he cannot sleep hungry. But the ones who have money can at least not bother about that and slowly progress in Krishna consciousness. So the idea of getting born in a rich aristocratic family is not to spoil yourself, but to advance in Krishna consciousness. So if you see somebody born in a rich family, it's his punyas, he's done good deeds. But the sad part is there's nobody to guide him. But now, of course, the Prabhupada books that you have to use your position to advance in Krishna consciousness. Don't take this as a means to further deteriorate yourself. And what if somebody has not done Dirghakal many years? What happens to the Shloka 42? Or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga. So this is for long practice of yoga. The first one was for shorter period. He takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly such a birth is rare in this world. So they take birth in the family of transcendentalists. So Prabhupada is explaining in the purport, birth in the family of yogis, those with great wisdom, is praised here because the child born in such a family receives spiritual impetus from the very beginning of his life. So they are already born in the family of acharyas. And from the day they are born, they already advanced. So two kinds of persons: one who have done a spiritual transcendental services to the Krishna, to the lotus feet of Krishna, devotional services for a shorter period of time, for a longer period of time, and what happens to them in case they're not able to achieve the purpose. Krishna answers in 6.41 and 6.42. All right. Activities in Krishna consciousness or acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation of sense gratification is the highest transcendental quality of work. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. So now we'll do a small group exercise. What we'll do is, so you read the questions. Under what circumstances following Varnashram Dharma is necessary? What are the qualifications required for beginning practice of Krishna consciousness? For that, you have to use 4 verses: 2.31, 3.5, 3.26, and 3.35. Just note down the verses: 2.31, 3.5, 3.26, and 3.35. Questions are: under what circumstances following Varnashram Dharma is necessary? Number 2, what are the qualifications required for beginning practice of Krishna consciousness? So I'll divide you into 2 groups and give you around 5 minutes. Appoint a leader who can express the view of the entire group. Okay, now you can join your groups. Hare Krishna. On your screen, there will be a prompt. Just join the group. Room 1 or room 2. Hare Krishna. Anushri Mataji, Ekta Mataji, Shrivani Mataji, Karuni Mataji, please join the rooms. Karuni Mataji, you can join the room. आपके screen पे आया होगा ना?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Ekta Mataji, any difficulty in joining? Shrivani Mataji, any difficulty? No problem, Anushri Mataji. You can at least listen to them.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have joined the group, Prabhuji.
No, you have not joined because you're here. So
No, Prabhuji, I was basically logged in from 2 devices, so that's why.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Shrivani Mataji, any difficulty? Okay, fine. Karuni Mataji, you understand English or Hindi?
Both.
So you will see on your screen a prompt to join room 1 or room 2. You can join either of the two rooms. Have you seen that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Or you want me to send again an invite to you? Just see on
Please.
the screen. Just see on your screen. You will be asked to join room 2. Just join. Mobile screen.
Yes, Prabhuji. Tulsi Priya.
All right, Hare Krishna. Everyone is back now. Okay. So who are the two leaders? They can raise their hands, and we can give them opportunity to speak the view of the group. Who are the two leaders of the two groups? No leaders?
We had a little less
Hare
time,
Krishna.
Prabhu, but Padma Shri Mataji will start off.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Mashri Mataji, which room? Room 1 or room 2?
Room
One, I
1.
think, Prabhu.
1, I think. Yeah.
Room 1. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Um, the question, somehow we could not relate much the verses that we got and the question that was given. The second question, the qualifications required for beginning of the practice of Krishna consciousness. What we could get from all the 4 verses is a person who is working in fruitive activities, we should not disturb them, but we can show the path, but the Krishna conscious person can show the way to him how to dedicate to Krishna. And the other verses, when the soul is in contact with the material energy, gets a body and affected by the material modes of nature. Now, under this condition, we have to do the prescribed duties as enjoined in the Shastras. This is one of the qualifications for the to start Krishna consciousness. I think that is nothing but Varnashrama Dharma. To do our prescribed duties. That is what we could get from this, from the verses given.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. 2 points Mataji said. One is, one who is not in Krishna consciousness, a devotee should not disturb him, let him do whatever he's doing and try to subtly bring him to Krishna consciousness. And second point, Mataji is saying that because our soul comes in contact with this material world, so our body is impacted by the modes, and because we are on the material platform, we have to do duties prescribed, which she says is Varnashram Dharma. Fine. Room 2, who is the leader? Room 2?
We were discussing Prabhuji. I mean, we did not appointed any. I mean, no one acted as leader.
So first you appoint leader, then you start discussion. Because discussion is always never ending. You see so much discussion happening everywhere around the world. So first you appoint leader. We used to do that. First we used to appoint. Today आप बोलेंगे माताजी आप कभी नहीं बोलते हैं. ठीक है? And then now started. Then that Mataji will be alert. Point bolo. Tell me the point. Let me write. Otherwise everybody is relaxed. He will say. He will say. He will say. She will say. First appoint leader. Then you will see 200% attention. Okay. So Naveen Prabhu, you only start what to do.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Tell me.
We discussed a little bit, Prabhuji, not too much, about the specific duties for the human being to perform in this material world. Those who are not in the Krishna consciousness and those who are relating themselves to the material conceptions, they will be following the 4 specific varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. And the persons who are liberated and who are trying to be liberated from the clutches of this material world, they will be moving towards the Varnashrama Dharma, which is prescribed as per the scriptures, and they will be more closer to Krishna consciousness. Those who are staying on the Varnashrama Dharma, practicing Varnashrama Dharma. That's what I understood, Prabhuji. I'm not sure.
Okay, fine. Next, but this is the only point. Fine. Okay. Now open for all. Anybody wants to add any point, irrespective of the rooms you were in. There are. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, regarding the qualification required for beginning Krishna consciousness, I just found one point that through fruitive activities and sense gratification regulated by the Vedic rituals, one is gradually elevated to Krishna consciousness.
Okay, very good. Okay, nice. Anybody else?
From 3, I read only, we divided the verses. So I got 3.5 when I read it. And I thought the qualifications required for beginning practice of Krishna consciousness, as per this verse, it says it is not really necessary that one has to follow the prescribed duties in the Shastras, or if one discharges his devotional duty in Krishna consciousness, then that is sufficient. It is not necessary to take sannyasa, read the scriptures, follow the Vedas and Shastras, and then, feel qualified to be in Krishna consciousness. I think it's a direct process where your soul, if it's engaged in, the spirit soul has to be engaged in Krishna consciousness, otherwise it is influenced or, taken away by modes of material nature. So it is not necessary to have this prerequisite qualification of having been take the route of sannyasa, or be very, very fluent in the Vedas or Shastras to be in Krishna consciousness. Anyone can.
Anyone can, yes. So Nandita
Hare Krishna.
Mataji was speaking like a reporter, no? So she's saying that there is no prerequisite, anybody can do, nobody is got to be a pandit, no pre-knowledge of Vedas or Shastras required, sannyas not required, nothing, only Krishna consciousness. Very good. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah. Go on, Ekta Mataji.
For the second question, Prabhuji, what are the qualifications? So from the verse 3.35 or 3.26, we understand that you just need to follow your Varnashrama Dharma, and that is the basic qualification, Prabhuji, to basically practice Krishna consciousness.
So Mataji is saying qualification for Krishna consciousness is to follow your Varnashram Dharma. Okay, we have noted this, we'll discuss. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Shravani Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. One point I have noted from these these verses is Vedas survey Ahameva Vedjo. Krishna is telling, see, from Vedas all prescribed duties are mentioned, but whatever it is our prescribed duty, so ultimate goal of the life is known, means being Krishna as the supreme person, we have to know him, means acting according to Krishna consciousness, means whatever it is told, according to Krishna consciousness, we have to act whatever our material duties are. So if we follow according to Krishna consciousness, then our whatever might be our material duties, we can reach the God. So that is the beginning.
Very nice point, Mataji has told.
Thank
Ultimate
you,
goal is to know Krishna. Vede se sarver ahameva vedya. Okay, we'll discuss this point also. Last point we will take. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, whether it is duties on the spiritual platform or on the material platform, one has to follow the authorized direction, Prabhuji.
Follow authorized direction. Very good point. Thank you,
And
everyone.
Prabhuji, you said in the last class that, nowadays we don't have this Varnashrama classification, but the Guru will decide as to, what exactly we are eligible for, and we follow the instructions of a bona fide spiritual master, obviously in Krishna consciousness.
Yes,
So even here, I think it is the Guru who will direct us, because all of us are Shudras or Malechas, you said. So it is his instruction that will guide us even in Krishna consciousness as to what is to be done and what is not to be done. It doesn't matter whether I'm in any one of those ashramas or dharmas. Hey Krishna.
very nice. So adding on to what Shanti Mataji said, Mataji is saying that authorized direction. So who will give us direction? Where we'll get direction? So Mataji is saying Guru will give us direction. Very nice. I think all of you have spoken almost all the points. Now we'll put it in a good way so that our flow of thoughts are structured. So what is the question? Question is, under what circumstances following Varnashram Dharma is necessary? And number 2 is, what are the qualifications required to begin practice of Krishna consciousness? So let's start shloka by shloka. 2.31. 2.31 we had discussed in previous classes also, and the most important is the last paragraph. Let's read verbatim. There are 2 kinds of Swadharma specific duties. So Prabhupada is saying 2 kinds of specific duties. As long as one is not liberated. So do we fall under this category? Do we fall under this category?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I thought somebody will say no. Okay. As long as one is not liberated, one has to perform the duties of his particular body in accordance with the religious principles in order to achieve liberation. So, Prabhupada is saying we are not liberated. There's no doubt about it. So, we have to follow prescribed duties of the body. What are the prescribed duties? Vedas give prescribed duties. What do they say? Vedas say Varnashram Dharma. So if you are Brahmana, this is your prescribed duty. If you are Kshatriya, this is your prescribed duty. If you are Vaishya, this is your prescribed duty. If you are Shudra, this is your prescribed duty. So who are we? We are all Shudras. So what is our prescribed duty? To serve others. And that is what we are doing. So we keep on doing that. One day, perfection will come.
Yes, sir.
One day it will come. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So this is the progress we are going. If you are following,
But we need, Hare Krishna, but we need the other 3 set of people, Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas to serve. We don't have them now.
Shudras are serving Shudras. That is the fun of Kali Yuga. Everybody is Shudra, everybody is serving Shudra. So Prabhupada has just said Varnashram Dharma will not be possible. But we'll come to that point. And then Prabhupada is saying, if one is liberated, one Swadharma specific duty becomes spiritual and is not in the material body. So Naveen Prabhu, so what you were saying is, after liberation, then we follow Varnashram Dharma. No, that's not right. For liberation, Varnashram Dharma is the process. If I understood you right. The process of liberation is Varnashram Dharma, but it's a slow process. Belgadi. One day, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, one day it will happen. Unfortunately, for the next 4,30,000 years, you have no hope because there is no Varnashram Dharma in Kali Yuga. So what will you do? What will you do? How will you go to that stage? Okay, we'll see. Towards the end of this paragraph, human civilization begins from the stage of Varnashram Dharma, specific duties in terms of specific modes of nature of the body obtained. Discharging one specific duty in any field of action in accordance with the order of the higher authorities serves to elevate one to higher status. So here we recognize the concept of serving higher authorities. Very good. So we have to follow the orders of the higher authorities. Still not clear fully what to do. Next, close to 3.5. What is 3.5 saying? 3.5, if you come to the third sentence, as such, the spirit soul has to be engaged in good work of Krishna consciousness, otherwise it will be engaged in the occupation dictated by the illusionary energy. So first Prabhupada is explaining here the nature of the soul, which is the second sentence. Soul to be always active. Actually, Prabhupada is saying body is only a dead vehicle. Yantra Rudani Maya. Krishna is saying what to the body? Yantra Rudani. It's just a vehicle. It's just a vehicle. See, if you have a car, without the driver, it's just a dead instrument, isn't it? Now with the driver, you can maneuver it. So that is what Prabhupada is saying. Soul is active, body is dead. So what to do? Engage your spirit soul in good work of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, you will be dictated by the illusionary energy. Very good. Again, that same Bhagavatam shloka is quoted, which we read so many times. Prabhupada is quoting. It's a very important shloka. And explaining that, Prabhupada is explaining, so the purificatory process is necessary for reaching the point of Krishna consciousness. Reaching the point of Krishna consciousness. Question here is what? Question here is qualification required for beginning Krishna consciousness. Here is reaching Krishna consciousness. So both are two separate things. We are beginning Krishna consciousness, and other is reaching the point of Krishna consciousness. For that, the process is purificatory process. Very good. 3.26. Let's go to 3.26. 3.26, Krishna is saying, therefore, a realized soul in Krishna consciousness should not disturb others in their activities or understanding, but should act by showing how the results of the work can be dedicated. If you read chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, Bhagavan Krishna is explaining various stages of bhakti. Highest, he says, what? Man mana bhav mad bhakto. Always think of me. Can't do that. Then at least follow the rules and regulations. Can't follow the rules and regulations, at least work for me. Can't work for me, okay, keep on doing what you're doing, but offer the results of that to me. Even can't do that, then what? Then there is no renunciation in you because you're lacking knowledge. So please try to gain knowledge. So there are 6, and then he says better than knowledge is dhyana. So these are the 6 various steps. So here it is said that whoever is engaged even in material activities, don't disturb them. Don't, क्या कर रहे हो, ऐसे कर रहे हो, छोड़ो सब कुछ, आ जाओ. Don't say all that. What you have to do, you have to gradually teach them, okay, you can offer the results of your activities to Krishna. Slowly his consciousness will be developed, because we just read that purification is a gradual process. It's not sudden. It's not machine on off. It's not a switch on off. It's a gradual process. And then in this purport, Prabhupada is explaining, a slightly developed Krishna conscious person may directly be engaged in the service of the Lord without waiting for the Vedic formulas. Now you start getting answer to the questions. What is the Vedic formula we are talking about? Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma is the Vedic formula. So you don't have to wait for Vedic Dharma, Varnashram Dharma. What you have to do? A slightly developed Krishna conscious person. Now how do you become slightly developed? Shraddha, Sadhu Sang, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti. Process is clear, no? Slightly developed Shraddha. सबसे पहले श्रद्धा होना चाहिए. प्रभुपाद जी पे श्रद्धा है, उनकी किताबों पे श्रद्धा है, तो क्या करना है? Then what you sadhu sang, you start going to temple, you start taking association of devotees. Slightly developed, बहुत छोटा सा. Then you do bhajan kriya, and then anartha nivritti forever. All the devotees will do forever. This anartha nivritti is going on. When it will finish? Anartha nivritti. That's a separate story. But a slightly developed Krishna conscious person may directly be engaged in the service of the Lord without waiting for Vedic formula. So if you are in Krishna consciousness, if you're trying to begin a Krishna consciousness, you don't have to wait for Varnashram. Clear? Clear? So 2.31 was explaining two Swadharma, liberated, not liberated. Not liberated, follow Varnashram Dharma. What to do, Prabhuji? Kalyug, Varnashram Dharma. Come to 3.26. Slightly developed Krishna conscious, don't wait for Vedic formulas, just serve the Lord. Just serve the Lord. Like we gave example, Varnashram Dharma is like taking the stairs to Burj Khalifa. But Krishna consciousness is taking the escalator, the lift, elevator to the top floor of Burj Khalifa. Both will take you there, but you have to decide whether you want to use the stairs or whether you want to go by lift. And then one more line comes. For this fortunate man, there is no need to follow the Vedic rituals, because by direct Krishna consciousness, one can have all the results one would otherwise derive from following one's prescribed duties. You can get everything by serving Krishna. And otherwise derive from following one's prescribed duty. One prescribed duties means what? Varnashram Dharma. Clear, no? What are the prescribed duties? Varnashram Dharma. So, without following your duties, serve Krishna and all perfection will be reached. All perfection will be reached. Prabhuji, kahan likha hai? Likha hai 9.30 mein you can take cue. Come to 9.30. 9.30, very beautiful sloka to relieve us from our guilt. We are all sitting with heavy guilt in our heart. Api chet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavyaha samyagya vyavasito hisa. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. See, all of us may have some guilt or the other for some sins that we have done. It will not come easily. Huh? If you talk to a person who is materialistic, will say, मैंने कभी कुछ गलत नहीं किया. I'm the most perfect. You're talking about ones who started Krishna consciousness. And when you start chanting the name of the Lord, all things in purity come out. And one thing people often say, led a sinful life. I led a very sinful life. What to do? See, so advanced devotees in the temple, they say, because of my sinful life in the past. They say, when they say that, you feel, huh? They are seeing sinful life. Mera kya? I am gone. So, but we have hope. We have hope. Why? Even if one commits the most abominable action. One example can be given. Mrigari. Isn't it? Mrigari was killing animals half. He was loving to see them the way they were, the way they were, there's a condition. Half dead, half alive. Struggling to breathe. But what? Fixed in service to Krishna, so you have to consider them saint. Why are we discussing this 9.3? We are discussing this because qualification required for the practice of Krishna consciousness, really no qualifications required. There is no qualification required for practice of Krishna consciousness except that you start Krishna consciousness. Because if Krishna is ready to accept the most abominable, I hope we don't think we are the most abominable. We may be, but we don't think that. Just we need little Shraddha. Just need Shraddha. When Shraddha comes, please your kickstart. And 3.35, what is 3.35 saying? Materially. Now see, now all your doubts will be clear. This is such a good purport. So the first sentence is discharge prescribed duties. Very good. In full Krishna consciousness. Very nice. So what did Krishna say to Arjuna? Remember me and fight. So do your duties. Your duty, you're a Kshatriya, you have to fight, but remember me and fight. So prescribe duties in full Krishna consciousness. So once what happened, I think I gave this example earlier also. So we have in our temple level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 is Bhagavad Gita in 18 days. And one devotee asked a question, Prabhuji, you told no, man mana bhav mad bhakt. So every time remember Krishna. So I was driving my scooty and I was doing Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And suddenly I was about to hit into other vehicle. I stopped. Then I took a decision. I will not chant while I'm riding. Why? No, because this is distraction, no? And you should not chant while driving. I said, what if because you were chanting, you were saved? That can be the reason. I said, see, Krishna's instruction to Arjuna was fight, but remember me. He did not say, Arjun, fight, remember me later. It's a distraction for you. No? If he can fight, remembering Krishna, you can ride a scooty, remembering Krishna. That's not a problem. Isn't it? So don't try to form your own opinions. See, our mind plays like this with us. You will form your own concepts and get away from Krishna. If Krishna is saying man mana bhav mat bhakto, he could have given an asterisk and said subject to the time when you're riding, when you're driving, when you're doing this. It's not said that subject to. Just say man mana bhav mat bhakto. Every time. So it's possible. It's possible. That is why he's saying no. Or did he say leave everything, just sit in the home? No, he's saying karma yoga is better than karma sannyas. So he wants us to act. At the same time, he's saying man mana bhav mat bhakto. So because our consciousness will become Krishna conscious. When you're riding or when you're driving, aren't you thinking something? Isn't something going on in your consciousness? Definitely something is going on in your consciousness. Make that consciousness Krishna conscious. So Krishna is going on. Krishna. Not that because you just avoided an accident, it was because you were thinking. Okay? So yeah, so reading this purport fully, materially, now see Prabhupada is differentiated. Materially, prescribed duties are duties enjoined according to one's psychophysical condition under the spell of the modes of material nature. spiritual duties are as ordered by the spiritual master for the transcendental service of Krishna. Very clear. Materially follow Varnashram Dharma, which you cannot do. So what you have to do? Under the spell of modes of nature. What is the mode of nature? We are under ignorance, Shudra. Act. Spiritually, order of the spiritual master. Simple. So there should be no confusion of what is a prescribed duty, materially and spiritually. Duties on the spiritual platform and duties on the material platform may be different, but the principle of following the authorized direction is always good for the performer. Always follow the authorized direction. That is why we say, what? Authorized Guru Sishya Parampara. Pramanika Guru Sishya Parampara. Now see, towards the end, it says, everyone has to cleanse his heart by a gradual process, not abruptly. Process is gradual. It's not when you switch off the fan takes time to fully stop. It doesn't suddenly stop. It takes time. So process is gradual. See, a farmer, he was growing wheat, and the crop that year was not golden. Generally, wheat is golden. It was blackish. So he put it in a huge silos, cylindrical silos. You understand? Huge structured silos. And there was a big outlet at the bottom to take out. He was not at all happy with the output. Next year, he consulted. Good fertilizers were used, good technique, and he had a golden harvest. Very nice. And he put it on top of that old year's harvest in the same silo. Now he opened the outlet at the bottom. And what came out? Black colored, dirty, spoiled wheat. He said, "Arey, this year I had a golden harvest, still black wheat is coming out." Process is gradual. You may have started Krishna consciousness, but initially all the anarthas will come out. You cannot immediately enjoy the golden harvest. You have done golden harvest, very good. You have started Krishna consciousness, but let the old stock finish. And then suddenly you have golden harvest. So process is gradual, not abrupt. And if it is abrupt, it will not sustain. In that complete state of Krishna consciousness, the Kshatriya may act as a Brahmana may act as a Kshatriya. For example, Vishwamitra, originally Kshatriya, acted as a Brahmana, and Parshuram, a Brahmana, but acted as a Kshatriya. All right. So I think all the points are clear. We'll move ahead. A slightly developed Krishna conscious person may directly be engaged in the service of the Lord without waiting for the Vedic formula. And what is the Vedic formula? What is it?
Following the Varnashram.
For this fortunate man, there is no need to follow the Vedic rituals, because by direct Krishna consciousness, one can have all the results one would derive, otherwise following one's prescribed duties. Now you cannot again introduce the system of Varnashram. Prabhupada has said clearly, now you cannot introduce. It is not possible. But if one takes to Krishna consciousness, automatically he becomes immediately a Brahmana, and above the Brahmana, a Vaishnava. In ISKCON, the minimum that you become is the Brahmana. The training is to make you a Brahmana. That is why the second initiation is called Brahmana Diksha. But above Brahmana is a Vaishnava. Okay, so at least the training in ISKCON brings you to the level of Brahmana. So brings your airplane on the runway, from the street, from some field, from some paddy field you were in. At least ISKCON has now slowly brought you to the runway. Now you have to take off. So you become a Brahmana, now become a Vaishnava, bringing you to Satoguna, and from Satoguna you can go higher and become Shuddha Sattva Vaishnava. Okay, I think this we have discussed. We will not discuss this again. A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor he has any reason not to perform. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people, you should perform your work. So what happens? Sometimes a self-realized man, you will see him still performing his occupational duties. He is not required to perform. but is performing so that others can learn. Yad yad achariti seshtat tat tat eva taro jana. We'll come to that. So 3.22, first we'll read that. 3.22, come to 3.22. O son of Partha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything, yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. Krishna is saying, there's actually no duty for me, but still you will find me performing duties. Why? Because although such rules and regulations are not for the conditioned soul and not for Krishna. See, Krishna, for him, there is no rules and regulations. For us, because he descended to establish the principle of religion, he followed the rules. Otherwise, common men would follow in his footsteps because he is the greatest authority. Otherwise, common men say, "Arey, Krishna ne bhi to ye kiya, hum bhi ye karenge." That is why he accepted Guru. That is why he went to Gurukul. That is why he followed all the duties that are supposed to be followed. Because yad yad acharati sheshta tat tat eva taro jana. जैसे जैसे हमारे समाज में ऊंचे औहदे के लोग करेंगे, वैसे वैसे आम जनता भी करेगी. If I did not perform prescribed duties, all these words would be put to ruination. I would be the cause of getting unwanted population. So Krishna is explaining why we should do that. And now we'll come to this famous shloka, and I'll give you one reference of this also. So come to 3.21. Yadyadacharati says tattadevataro jana. Which means what? Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. So now the question is, who is a great man? So Prabhupada explains in the purport that these are our teachers, our parents, and people in the society at higher positions, like IS officers, IPS officers. The way they react, the way the head of a state, the way our parents do, will follow the same. If your father is smoking and telling you not to smoke, one day you will smoke because you've seen him smoking. Correct? So that's why Prabhupada is saying Acharya, a teacher is called Acharya because he teaches from his Acharan. Now, I don't know how many of you noted, but when from the Prime Minister's office, I remember they were replying to, I think, ISKCON or some organization, and they used this shloka to congratulate them because their institute, I think it was ISKCON, that they were building man of character, saying that Yad Yad Acharati says that actually it's a great man people will follow. So you are building man of character, and for you, people can follow you and become good themselves. Acharya means who is teaching from the Acharan, an ideal teacher. So now we'll do a small discussion. We'll not break you into groups, but we'll take in this forum only the discussion. Discuss with a partner a recent incident where others followed example. So what we are saying, that whatever a great man does, common men will follow. So now you tell us from your own example, some recent incident where others followed you. You told them something and they followed. And what was the result for those who followed your example? And what happened when they followed you? Anybody who wants to share some incident can just raise your hand. See. It can be a very simple thing, no? It can be. Yes, Mataji.
Very simple thing, Prabhuji. Not sure if I should even say this, but like I was asking my mother to start chanting, Prabhuji, and initially she was not taking it up, but but continuously, like following up and pressuring her, so she started doing it, Prabhuji, daily.
Very good. Now she's the one who's following you, that you are not doing the chanting on time. Not yet reached that stage. Very good. So very nice. So mother is doing chanting. Okay. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
मैंने अपने ऑफिस में लोगों को हरे कृष्णा बोलना शुरू किया, तो लोगों ने मुझे हरे कृष्णा से रेस्पॉन्स दिया.
Very nice. See, these are the small steps you take. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Yes, Mataji. Nandita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I think Mataji said silly example. I can give a sillier example. There are two people outside of my family who are religiously doing Ekadashi. One is the vegetable vendor in my building, because I used to go to buy fruits from him. one day prior to Ekadashi, and he used to say, "Why are you buying so many fruits? And why are you storing them? Why the variety of fruits?" So I said, "To keep me from eating something else." So he started marking it off on his calendar. And now every month, like at the beginning of the month, I have to send him from the Vaishnav calendar 2 screenshots of when Ekadashi is and remind him one day before also. Because he gets my supply of fruits, plus he follows it. And he's better than me, Prabhu. He follows it better than I do. And the other is, for some reason, I used to go for yoga classes very sporadically. And the teacher there, and I used to tell her, I can't do it today because I'm going to be doing Ekadashi. So she started following Ekadashi. No, the same. I have to send her screenshots and remind her one day
Very
previous.
nice.
And these two people religiously look at my status so as to not miss Ekadashi.
Very
Hare
nice.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Very well. So two things from Mataji's example, people are following Ekadashi. Second, Mataji is eating a lot of fruits on Ekadashi. All right. Very nice. Okay. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I've been attending the yoga classes as Mataji said. So that trainer is very much into meditation and all. So once we had a discussion about spirituality because my trainer knows I follow ISKCON. So I asked Mataji what do you get by meditation? Then she said I feel very blank, empty. So then I said, okay, you got the experience, so why didn't you try chanting also? So she tried Prabhuji, and she said I am feeling very strange. I feel I have come from other planet. Everybody looks, even my mom, dad are looking something new to me. I don't know why it is like that. So I said, it's okay, whatever it is, you don't stop your thoughts. Please keep chanting every day one round. And she's chanting, Prabhu, and now she says I feel very happy when I chant. I don't know what feeling is that. She is chanting regularly, Prabhuji.
Very nice. See, and if there is doubt, no, you can show him Bhagavad Gita 6.1314, where Krishna is saying, "Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me." So, what happens in Dhyan Yoga? People say meditate, 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 but what to meditate on? Figment of imagination. Either a point, blank, this, that. But Krishna's instruction is meditate upon me. 6.13 and 14. So instruction is clear. Meditation is only on Vishnu, not anybody else. Even if you're sitting for Dhyan Yoga. Even for Dhyan Yoga, though it is not recommended, but just for the ones who are doing, you can clearly show. See, there is a scripture, there is Bhagavad Gita saying 6.1314 that meditate for it. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Any example that others followed because of you?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Actually, means by seeing in our home, my mother also started offering food to the Lord Prabhuji. Means she also giving daily water with the tulsi leaf like that. And after that, one day actually she is waiting for onions to purchase. Then I told, why you are purchasing the onions? Instead, if you don't put onion, then you can put every day offering to the Lord. Then after that onwards, she is telling, now I am not means I am not getting the taste towards the onion after you told. That's what Prabhuji. And she started and she chanting 108 rounds of her 11 days.
108 rounds. Mataji?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
She's chanting 108 rounds. I think her voice is not clear. Wow. Nice. So she's gotten higher taste, no taste in onion. Okay, before we proceed, anybody else wants to share any example? Must be
Hare
so many.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, I mean, in my circle, so me and my friend, I mean, we are following ISKCON since last almost 2 years. So we have a friend who is strictly a Jain religion. So in Jain religion, they have to follow their Jain principles, and they are not allowed to take name of Krishna and worship Krishna. So, but by our association now, that lady who was not taking the name of Krishna, who was not paying obeisances or like going head down in front of Krishna. Now that lady is chanting 16 round daily since last 6 months.
Very good, very good, very nice,
and
very nice.
and she has started the Bhagavad Gita 18 days course. She has done twice already, and now I think she's preparing for initiation. But there is some restrictions from her husband and family, so she's struggling with that. But hopefully, she will find a way soon.
Very good. Even preparing for initiation. Very nice, very nice. Very good. Thank you, everyone. So you're all wonderful devotees. With your association, people are changing. Very nice. Okay, we'll move ahead. The king or the executive head of a state, the father and the school teacher. See now example of who are those great persons. Yet Achariti Seshta. Who are them? The father and the school teacher are all considered to be natural leaders of the innocent people in general. Aam Janta, mango people. So mango people's leaders are executive head. So government head, prime minister, president, chief ministers, father, a biological father, and school teacher, acharya. All such natural leaders have a great responsibility to their dependents. But nowadays, you see teachers running away with students, marrying them, having all sort of illicit relationship with their own students. Leaders of the state, not at all responsible. So that is why the society is going down, because there are no great leaders to follow. But for last few years, you have seen the change in people, isn't it? Because head of the state has a huge impact on the Aam Janata. Now you can clearly see. Clearly you can see. And it is written in Bhagavad Gita. And that is why it is so important to have a good head of state, to have good leaders. Nitya, very important. Now 3.36, somebody read this shloka and we can all relate it practically to this situation. Arjuna is asking a question. Actually, it's a question for us. Anybody? 3.36, please read. 3.36.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hi.
Yes.
उवाच अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पुरुषः अनिच्छन् अपि वार्ष्णेय बलात् इव नियोजितः. Translation and purport by Sri Prabhupada. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force?
Very nice. O descendant of Vrishni, who is saying? Arjuna is saying to Krishna, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? We are all in the same situation. पाप करने की इच्छा नहीं थी, हो गया. मानो किसी ने जबरदस्ती करवा दिया, हो गया. It happened as if engaged by force. I didn't want to do this sinful activity. Yes or no? Most of us, same reaction. I didn't want to do sinful activity, but I did. Raise your hands. Yes or no? Have we seen ourselves in such a situation? So, why it is happening? We didn't ask. Did we ask anybody why is it happening? Only when we are caught, when parents will ask, क्यों किया ऐसा? मन नहीं था करने का, हो गया. Arjuna is asking the same question to Krishna, and Krishna is answering, Kamesha Krodha Esha Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only. Wow. Kam Esha, lust only. Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion, Rajoguna, and later transformed into wrath, Krodha Esha, anger, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. All-devouring sinful enemy of this world. Maha Ashanaha. Just imagine. So who is the all-devouring sinful enemy? Mahashano. Lust. How lust? In the second chapter, We read 2 shlokas. Anybody remembers which 2 shlokas? The 8 stages of our fall down.
2.61 and 62.
Very good. Can you recite those shlokas, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Dhayato Vishayan Samsa Sangastu Pajayate Sangatus Nijayate Kama Kamata Krodha Vijayate Krodha Bhavati Sammoha Sammohat Smriti Dhumsat Smriti Dhumsat Buddhi Nasha Buddhi Nasha Pranashyati.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dhyayato Vishyan Punasa Sangaste Shubhajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Same Kamaha which we are talking in 3.37 Kam Esha Krodha Esha. And in 2.62, after Kama, what is Krishna saying? Kamat Krodho Abhijayate. Same sequence. 2.62 also Krishna said, Sangat Sanjayate Kama, Kamat Krodho, Krodh. And here also Krishna is saying, Kam Esha, Krodh Esha. So all devouring sinful enemy is Kam. Means lust. Lust means what? Lust means what? Uncontrolled desires. Uncontrolled desires. Aniyantrit ichhaएं. So when we find ourselves in a situation where we didn't want to do sinful activities, but we ended up doing sinful activities, answer is lust. How? Let's read the purport. So Krishna is explaining, Prabhupada is explaining the purport, when a living entity, this is now 3.37, when a living entity comes in contact with the material creation, his eternal love for Krishna is transformed into lust. You see, I love you. People say, I love you. Actually, there's nothing called love in this material world. How can you say that? Prabhupada just said, love transformed into lust. Said no. There is only lust in this world. There's nothing called love. Unless somebody says, I'm not from this material world. Then we are ready to listen to you. As soon as we descend into this, don't say we are avatar. When we say descend is a very respectful word. As soon as we fall into this material world, love transformed into lust. So when you say I love you, actually you should say I have lust for you. Simple. That is how our shastras give slap to us. But it's lust, it's not love. Please arise awake. In association with the mode of passion. Rajogun, we all know. So one example Prabhupada is giving. How is love transformed to lust? Kaise? The same way milk in contact with sour tamarind is transformed into yogurt. Same way. Now, bigger question is how to go back. Yogurt cannot be converted to milk. Can it be? No. So which means the lust we are in, can it not be converted to the love of Krishna? The example which is given actually says that we can never come out of this lust and never get true love for Krishna. Then such a helpless condition. What to do? But Prabhupada has a solution for everything. So we'll read the purport and we'll get some solution. First is identify the problem. Our problem is we are in a very precarious situation. We are lustful. Yogurt cannot go back to milk. Lust cannot go back to love, which means we have to live with this forever, ever. And that is why we are called Nityabad. It's not for no reason that we are called Nityabad. Nitya means everybody knows, no? Prabhupada will take us out, no worries. Prabhupada is saying what? Then again, when lust is unsatisfied, it turns into wrath. Wrath is transformed into illusion, and illusion continues the material existence. Illusion continues the material existence. So, when our lust is not satisfied, we become angry. And when we become angry, then kya hota hai? Krodha bhavati sammoha. 2.63. We are into moho. We are into illusion. Same philosophy Krishna is saying. Same thing is saying. And when we are in illusion, then Maya says, Krishna, job done. Another Jeev in illusion. He will continue to be there. I did not do anything. Because illusion means it will continue the material existence. Illusion means continuity, vicious circle. It will go on, on, on. No external efforts are required. Therefore, lust is the greatest enemy of the living entity. Now you understand why lust is the greatest enemy. Because of lust that you are stuck here. It's because of lust that we are stuck here. And it is the lust only which induces the pure living entity to remain entangled in the world. Wrath is manifestation of the mode of ignorance. These modes exhibit themselves as wrath and other corollaries. Therefore, the mode of passion, instead of being degraded into the mode of ignorance, is elevated to the goodness, will take us out from this material world. Now, understand it very clearly. So it's a mode of passion, Rajoguna. In mode of passion, we have lust. Now, from lust, wrath, anger comes. Anger is mode of ignorance. But it is on you now. Either you elevate your position from Rajoguna to Satoguna, or you degrade your position from Rajoguna to Tamoguna. The natural instinct or the default, what we call default, the default is to go down from Rajoguna to Tamoguna, because from lust comes wrath, anger. So Prabhupada is saying, if therefore the mode of passion, instead of being degraded into the mode of ignorance, is elevated to the mode of goodness. So what we have to do, we have to strive to convert this lust into love, not the lust into wrath. Lust is there, Rajoguna. We have to strive to convert it to love, which is Satoguna, and not follow the default route of bringing it down to wrath, which is Tamoguna. How to do that? By the prescribed method of living and acting, then one can be saved from the degradation of wrath by spiritual attachment. Okay, we have still not seen how to do that. Second paragraph, last line. This material creation is created by the Lord to give facility to the conditioned soul to fulfill these lustful propensities, and when completely baffled by the prolonged lustful activities, the living entity begins to inquire their real position. Now, see, we had discussed earlier also. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Kama, lust, desires. When you're so tired. Hippies, if you see, hippies were tired of enjoying. They were tired. Itna jada. So much so, they have done sense gratification. They're tired. It happens. We have not reached the stage maybe, and reaching the stage may take another billion years, billion births, that you become tired. So Prabhupada is saying what? When completely baffled by prolonged lustful activities, kitna karenge yaar, kitna thak gaye. Then living entity says, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Vedanta Sutra, first verse is Athatho Brahma Jigyasa. Athatho means what? English में athatho को क्या कहते हैं? Therefore, absolute inquiry. Have you seen any scripture, any text starting with therefore? Therefore is always at the end, isn't it? Mathematical problems when you're solving, last one. Hence proved. Therefore, left hand side equals to right hand side. Therefore, this can be concluded that Krishna's devotees should always eat prasadam. Therefore, it can be concluded that Krishna's devotees will love. It never starts with therefore. Vedanta Sutra is starting with Atato Brahma Jigyasa, and therefore absolute inquiry. Why? When you are all around, you're tired of your lustful activities, therefore you're opening Vedanta Sutra. What to do now? Therefore absolute inquiry, because you're already in a very tired position. And that is why studying Atato Brahma Jigyasa. So one who is opening Vedanta Sutra is actually already tired. Otherwise, you will open Kama Sutra and not Vedanta Sutra, isn't it? And therefore absolute inquiry. So just imagine, Vedanta Sutra first verse, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. This inquiry is the beginning of the Vedanta Sutras, wherein it is said, Atato Brahma Jigyasa, one should inquire into the Supreme. Yeah? Alright. So, Kama Esha Krodesha. So, Krishna has explained, it's because of your lustful activities that you are stuck here. We have still not answered how to come out of it. Now, see, there are three important verses here. We'll We don't have much time, but this was an activity. Read your allocated verse and purport. Discuss and identify general principles from Krishna's analysis of lust. Identify corresponding Sanskrit words or phrases. So what we can do, we can quickly here only divide it. So, and list the principles and phrases identified. Okay, so first note down the questions. What are the general principles from Krishna's analysis of lust? Identify your general principles. Next is identify corresponding Sanskrit phrases and list the principles. ठीक है, सिद्धांत क्या है, कृष्ण ने क्या बोला है, किसके लिए, लस्ट के लिए. कौन कौन सा 3 श्लोक है, 3.37, 3.39, 3.41. नोट डाउन 3.37, 3.39, 3.41. So what we can do quickly is, okay, I'll just call out names and I'll divide. So let's start. Anushri Mataji is not well today. So Nandita Mataji, Aryan Prabhu, and Ekta Verma Mataji, and Kshitij Prabhu. You do 3.37. Individually read and give your views. Okay. Manashri Mataji, Naveen Prabhu, Padmashri Mataji, you do 3.39. And Punya Shri Radhika Mataji, Shanti Sudesh Mataji, Shravani Mataji, and Shrivani Mataji, you do 3.41. Just read individually 3.37, 3.39, 3.4, and quickly give your views. Okay, I'll go back to the slide showing the questions. 3.37, 3.39, 3.41. So we have 2-3 minutes with us. All right, I think we should be ready now. The small purports, not big. So 2.37, yeah, go on. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
So, discuss and identify general principles from Krishna analysis of lust. So, basically, it says that, of course, we are part and parcel of Lord Krishna and we have, a love for Lord Krishna. But since we are into this, we come into this material world, our love uh, gets, our love basically, comes into contact with mode of passion and becomes lust.
Okay,
Prabhuji.
quite nice. Okay, one more. So only two views will take. Huh? So one more person for 2.37.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, from it's 3.37, we actually got to know about what I mean, the source of all the miseries that is actually because of the lust. It is just like, I mean, if we find the analogy, it is just like when we switch on a TV, we keep changing channels and we think like this channel will make me happy and keep on surfing like that. The lust is the same way. Like if we searching for, when we're looking for materialistic lust, we keep on looking for different things that I will get pleasure from this, I will get pleasure from that, but at the end of the day, it is all, the result is always lamenting, because there is no end of this. It keep on going, and then we realize that the ending is like the rather than lamenting, nothing will come. So that is the here, because the here Krishna has give us the message that we should channelize our lust. Of course, as we are human being, we have, this is the like natural thing that we may have lost, but we have to channelize that last for the Krishna consciousness. Like if we are looking for like some tasty food, we have lost for food, we have to channelize that food to the prasadam. If we want to look for the beauty, like we spend like lakhs and thousand rupees to see various places, but if we visit Vrindavan, even if we see various deity from available in the ISKCON mandir, when we see the Krishna in the deity form, our eyes are all mesmerized. So it is just we have to channelize our lust, because at the after, if we able to channelize that, then we able to enjoy the real pleasure what we are looking for. If we're looking for the materialistic lust, then it will result anger and greed and everything, all temporary things and miseries. But if we channelize them, then we get the spiritual blessings of the Krishna that we can get. And in the same way, like when we channelize, able to channelize that, then Krishna actually also helps us, because in the purport it is also beautifully given the example of the Hanuman and Arjuna also, because Hanuman, we know Hanuman burned all the Lankas, but from the, I mean, if we are in same describe this to any materialistic man, they also may ask the question, okay, Hanuman doing all the destruction, then how it can be good? How he, because of some, he has the power, he may shown off his power, but it is not like that. He, whatever he did, it is actually, he get the order from the Rama. It is, he is doing everything so that he's, I mean, for devotional service to Rama. Same Krishna instructed to the Arjuna that you have to channelize your wrath to the enemies, so that the papa will be eliminated from this world. So that is how, what I realized, Prabhuji, that we have, there may be lust, but we have to channelize everything. First of all, we need to control it, and then channelize to the Supreme Lord. Then we will get the eternal pleasure and blessings of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think Prabhuji's point is self-explanatory. We'll not discuss further. Okay, next, 3.39, two views.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, 3.39, please go ahead.
Can I tell, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
3.39, the words and phrases that describe lust are avritam, which means covered. That means the soul is covered by the lust. Then it is nitya vairina, eternal enemy. That means it's the eternal enemy of the soul. Then dushpurena, never satisfied. So the soul is never satisfied by this lust. And anala, it burns like fire, lust. So these are the phrases that I could get which describe lust. Then the analysis of lust, what Prabhupada mentions in the purport is, every one of us who is here is shackled by this, in this material world, by sense gratification, the highest of which is the sex life. And then the advancement, whatever so-called in the material civilization, what we are doing is to increase the material existence. That means we are only trying to increase this the lusty life what we are leading. And It is to prolong our material world. That's it. Material life, the advancement. And the so-called feeling of happiness that we get by material advancement is actually the ultimate enemy of the sense enjoyer.
Yeah.
Because it prolongs our life here.
Thank you, Mataji. I think one more view, then we will discuss this 3.39. Anyone else?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, here it is told that in this material world, we are covered with, deep, very huge layer of lust, wherein the man, the person, the living entity is running behind lust, like the ad says, "Ye dil mange more." It is never satisfied. The more it gets, the more the person wants. So, and Maya is there in such a way that it is continuously, making the person run and run and run behind lust, and that is actually the trick. If you want to run behind lust, वैसे ही गोल 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 घूमते रह जाओगे and you will never be satisfied. But once you come out of this lust into Krishna consciousness, only then you can be deviated towards Krishna and be away from Maya. Maya जाल से बाहर आ सकोगे. That is what.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice, good discussion on this. So, Prabhupada has given reference of scriptures explaining that why this lust cannot be satisfied, because none of us we are ready to accept that lust cannot be satisfied. We say it can be satisfied, but he's saying Manusmriti says lust can never be satisfied. It's like putting ghee to the fire; it can never be satisfied. So we have a scriptural reference also. And so why we keep on doing this, as Mataji was saying, because this feeling of happiness that we get. See, we see in our level 1 we show a picture where we or any man is hanging on to the branch of a tree. Most of you would have seen already. The tree, the trunk of the tree is an elephant is trying to deroot the tree through its trunk. So that's one danger, because you are hanging on the branch of that tree. Then there's a beehive on the tree and the bees are stinging you. And then you are the branch. Actually, the tree is close to a ditch, and the branch you're hanging on, there's a ditch just beneath you. And there are
Should I
snakes.
share the picture, Prabhu?
You have, no? Just share.
Yes,
Yeah, just do that now. So that is our position. Let Mataji share. You've gotten that? Yeah. You see this. Okay. So we are hanging onto the branch of a tree, the tree being uprooted by elephant. Then there's a beehive on top. Bees are, because while explain why there's a beehive, then there is rat, black and white. Those are our deeds, punya and pa. They are already biting the branch, and then if you fall down, there are snakes ready to bite you. That is our position. So the question is, then why are we not holding on to the hand of Krishna? You see, Krishna is there trying to hold it. Because you see, the tongue of the person is out, and what he's licking the honey from the beehive. And that is what is keeping us in this material world. Lust. So painful position. So painful position. Arms are paining. Bees are biting. Any moment the tree will be uprooted. Any moment the branch can fall down, and the moment you fall down, you're finished. But still you do not want to catch hold of the hand of Vishnu because you are getting honey. Lust. This is our position. This is our position. Thank you, Mataji. And the so-called feeling of happiness. Wow, kya taste hai. Kya swad hai. The so-called feeling of happiness is the ultimate enemy of the sense enjoyer. That is your enemy. If you forget that swad for some moment, you catch hold of the hand of Krishna. But That taste is getting you on and on, on and on, on and on. That is our position. And what is modern society doing? What is the scientific advancement doing? Just trying to increase the rate of your sense enjoyment. So maybe making one more hole in the beehive so that honey falls in greater quantity and और जोर से पकड़ेंगे और ज्यादा मधुमक्खी काट रहे हैं अभी तो और स्वाद मिल रहा है क्या स्वाद. That is what scientific advancement is, putting you to hell faster, putting you to hell faster. That's it, nothing much. So increasing the duration of material existence, and this is the shackle. See, if you put somebody behind bars, you can see the shackles. You can see, but this lust or sex life is the shackle that you cannot see, but that is what is holding on to you, holding to you in this jail. This is what is holding you in this jail. This lust. Clear, no? See, we are so great. Now everybody should be proud of themselves. Oh, wow. Shame on us. Why we are here. So this is the position of lust. Now 3.39. Quickly, 3.39 is done. Sorry, 3.41. Quickly we will do. 3.4.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Papmanam, which means lust, which is the greatest symbol of sin. And what does this lust do? It destroys knowledge and prevents us from gaining self-realization. And what can be done for this? We can regulate the senses. That is what Krishna advises Arjuna.
Very good. So we didn't find the solution, no. See, we said love got converted to lust. How to upgrade ourselves from the position of Rajoguna to Satoguna? Mataji just answered, regulate your senses. The 4 regulative principles of freedom. Regulate to free. Contradictory but true. We have given the example in the past. A kite can fly high only when it is tied to a rope. Otherwise, it cannot fly. So regulate to become free. Regulate your senses. कैसे regulate करें? How to regulate? Can you ask a kid, just don't do anything, sit quietly? For how long? Not possible. So then you go back to 2.59. 2.59, what it says? When you get higher taste, you drop the lower taste. So what is higher taste? Jiver swarup hoye, Krishner nityadas. This is the formula of our life. Constitutional position of our life. Serve Krishna. Jiver swarup hoye, Krishner nityadas. That is simple. And that is the higher taste of our life. If we get that higher taste, immediately we'll give away all the shahad that it is falling. All the shahad. All lower taste. Thu. It will go. So regulate the sense. How to regulate the senses? Can we ask our senses not to be? No. You put your senses into the service of Krishna. Rishikena, Rishikesh, Sevanam Bhakti Ruchite. So put all your senses, all your karma and jnana, whatever, in the service of Krishna. तो ज्ञान इंद्रियां, कर्म इंद्रियां, सारी की सारी आप भगवान की सेवा में लगा दीजिए. And when you do that, clear? All right. Okay, so we have done this. Therefore, this is the panacea to engage oneself, to engage everyone in Krishna consciousness. And understood? So the solution to all the problems, engage yourself in Krishna consciousness. Chanting Hare Krishna, he comes above the highest principle of Brahmanism. This is the greatest gift to the humanity, that even he is in the fallen condition, the most degraded position. Api chet sudurachara. We just read, no? Api chet sudurachara. That even he is in the most fallen condition, the most degraded position, he can be raised to the highest position simply by chanting. This is the only remedy. Only. Prabhupada is not saying this is one of the remedies, only remedy. So have to do this. All right. This is the only remedy. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much
Prabhu,
for.
I have one question.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, like when we were kids, probably some 35 years ago, there was one old man who once came to our area and he searched out for people who are financially very weak. Okay. And he called them to the temple. He used to give, and he also inquired who could write. Okay. So he used to come to the temple every month and distribute blank notebooks and used to ask them to write Hare Krishna, the 16 words, okay, and complete the book. And he used to pay them. So we always wondered why he used to, for writing Hare Krishna, why is he paying? So is that the answer to Bhagavad Gita 3.26? I just wanted to check.
3 point. Sorry, Mataji, I got a call from the president. So you're saying he would ask you to write.
Not ask. Financially poor people, he called them. Give
So
blank.
he would give them notebooks, and after that, what did you say?
He asked everybody to write Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and complete the notebook. Every month he used to come, and after the notebook is completed, he used to give them money.
Okay.
So this is while we used to wonder what he used to do with it. So now 3.26 is the answer to my question. What he used to do it?
See, I mean, it's probably his own idea of engaging people in the service of Krishna by making them write. But Prabhupada has been asked this question. Prabhupada, a lot of people write in the notebook, Ram, 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 Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So Prabhupada said that it's good, but when you say, you hear, and when you're doing deeds, and see, you're putting your tongue, you're putting your ear, you're putting your finger immediately in the service of Krishna. So that is a better way of putting yourself in the service of Krishna. Writing, yes, you are writing, and but that's a slower way. So probably that was his own idea, that this is the way we can engage people in service of Krishna and to motivate them in giving some money. But I mean, I don't know how it's supported by Shastras, but probably one's own way of
Because that was a question in my mind as to why he was paying for people writing it up.
So should not, I mean, I don't know. Because generally, maybe to bring them initially to the service of Krishna, and eventually they will know and they will understand and they will stop taking money. But maybe something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Any other questions? Any other discussion? All right. Okay. So chalenge. Thank you all. Next session we'll start chapter 4. Okay. And Nandita Mataji, so what's going on in terms of their assignments and all?
In one baby, we've discussed it a little, Prabhu. So we've got a fairly good idea of what we can write. Like we said, it has to have an introduction, body, and a conclusion, definitely.
And that's all. In terms of structure, that's all. But you have given them the questions, right?
Yes, and we have already verses related to those 5 reasons, which we are supposed to quote and tell you our realizations or understandings, and not our opinions. And we are writing a personal practice as to how we may have had that reason in our lives. We may have the reluctance to perform devotional service for each reason. We may have come across something in one of the reasons or 3 of the reasons or all the reasons. So that's how we are structuring our essay.
Okay. Okay, thank you all. Mancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.